Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. Today is the 14th of May. It was not the 12th of May yesterday. It was the 13th. Today is the 14th of May. It's 11 a.m. Central European Time, 10 o'clock in the UK, and we're going to try and get through the entire show in an hour. That's the plan. Yesterday, we spent a lot of time looking at pairs. It was a little bit specific yesterday, giving people just a bit of an insight into how Bitcoin performs against Ethereum, Solana, gold, Bitcoin dominance, all that kind of stuff. If you haven't seen that, check out the video from yesterday. Today, we're going back to going through news. We had a good day yesterday. Bitcoin went up almost 5%. So we're going to have a look at the fallout from that. We're going to look at the danger zone. What is the danger zone for Bitcoin? We're going to look at an ETH update. And you'll notice my title for the show today is ETH Worry. And I am a little bit worried about ETH, especially now we're getting towards the middle of May. We've probably got 10 days before the ETF news comes out. So we're going to go through that. Notcoin paused. We're going to have a look at Notcoin. That's the new coin that's being launched on the 16th of May. 2 days from today, on Thursday, Notcoin will launch. We're going to go through that. Pepe croaks. Pepe hit an all-time high yesterday. What does that mean? Should you be buying Pepe? Should you be selling it? 1 million pixels. We're going to go through the game, claiming to have 1 million players. Then memes racing. It was a good day for memes. I know Peter, who watches us, really doesn't like memes. We're going to go through that anyway. Final thoughts. And then, of course, bottom left-hand corner, we are approaching 130,000 followers. I don't know where that came from. It's come out of nowhere. So 130,000, what are we, 640 people away from that. So don't forget, if you don't follow us, I don't know why you wouldn't follow us, but if you don't follow us, go and press the follow, the like, the subscribe button, whatever you've got in front of you, go and press that. Now, before we get on, give me 1 second. My stream has paused in one location. It's working in another location. How strange. I do not know what is going on. Give me a minute. There we go. That was very strange. I do apologise about that. We had some kind of weird lag and my stream went off, but it's actually still there. So a few shout outs before we get into the show then. Only You, good morning. Telling me about a coin called 3. I will go and have a look at that coin after the show. Good morning, Mags. Good morning, Kabir. Kabir, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday. 21 again, I imagine. Congratulations on your birthday. What better way to spend your birthday than an early morning crypto? Good morning, Solo Sky and Hidden Agendas, everybody. Remember, there are no stupid questions. Ask away in chat and I will try and answer them as best I can. But before we get to the X-Files, let's very quickly go through the charts then. Bitcoin is coming in at 61,850. It's down 1% or so. Ethereum is back under $3,000. Remember, I'm not eating my hat. I said I would eat my hat if Ethereum stayed above $3,000. So currently, my hat is going to be put to one side and left for later. Maybe it will be dessert. Gainers and losers then. Pepe, as you can see, is now a $4.5 billion market cap. It's up 21%. Floki is up 11%. Book of Meme is up 5.5%. Audi is up 4.7%. Lots of memes are gaining traction. Down then. WorldCoin is down. Ethena is down. Thor, Brogan will be happy, is down. Wormhole is down. A few losers and a few gainers today. It's not a green or a red day, really. And very quickly to recap, volume 70 billion, very reasonable for a Monday. Bitcoin dominance 53.7. I think it was 53.5 yesterday. So that is starting to creep up. ETH dominance falling away 15.4. That's pretty much the market at the start of the day. And being that you're watching me on an exchange, you already know this anyway. So there's no point in going over it in too much. Right, let's go through some of these X-Files. I think we're going to start the day with a nice one, I believe. I'm not too sure. I can't remember. I prepare the stream the night before. Yes. So just remember, if somebody pops your bubble, don't be too depressed. There's always going to be another bubble. If you buy a coin and it doesn't rip how you expect, don't be like this girl. Don't be sad. Just enjoy the fact that you have a drink in front of you. That's the way you should view life. Your glass should always be half full. And if you're Kabir and it's your birthday today, your glass should be completely full to the brim. Now, again, I was going to do an article about this, but I don't really want to spend that much time talking about American politics. It's not what the show's about. However, President Biden has issued an order to block Mine One Limited, which is a Bitcoin miner, from opening in Wyoming near a nuclear missile base. The order was issued in coordination with the Committee on Foreign Investment in the US. I totally agree with this. You don't want a mining farm near a missile base. It's just not the done thing. So I do agree with that. Anywhere in the world, I would also agree with it. Anything that's built near a nuclear power plant or an army base or anything like that shouldn't really be anything other than farms or anything other than simple basic products. Good morning, Daniel. Welcome to the stream again. Now, Dante Cook put this really good post up yesterday. I've given dozens of presentations to CEOs and business leaders, and this is the #1 slide that clicks with them to describe Bitcoin as a protocol. Relating Bitcoin to other technologies they use every day is what triggers the light bulb moment. And this is a really good chart. We don't need to go into them all, but suffice to say, if you look at HTTP, web browsers, Netflix, Uber, Airbnb, if you look at VoIP, voice over IP, you've got Zoom and Skype. SMTP is an email, you've got Outlook and Gmail, and then you've got Bitcoin, which is the money protocol. Now, it's not necessarily correct in terms of Bitcoin isn't really money. It is, but it isn't. And I'm not going to get into that. But the point of it is to explain to a layman what Bitcoin is. This is a really good idea. So Outlook is email, Skype is VoIP, Netflix is web browsing. Makes perfect sense. Bitcoin is money. It makes sense to explain to the layperson, but of course Bitcoin is there's more caveats to Bitcoin than that. But as I said, to explain to the layman, that is a great slide. Absolutely great slide. Now, there's only a couple more of these. These are snippets that don't really warrant a great deal of attention. Now, I know a lot of you are involved in the Jupiter voting system, the DAO. Their next round 3 starts on the 22nd of May. I'm going to make a video about this today. So the 3 new tokens. Now remember, the reason I go through these is these tokens tend to end up on the exchange that you are watching us on. So you're getting the tokens before they get to the exchange. That's why we highlight it. DeBridge Finance, DiviBet and ExchangeArt are the 3. They've narrowed it down to 3 and there will be 1 winner. Not 2 this time, 1 winner. I'm going to let you into a secret. DeBridge Finance is the one to go for. It's the best bang for buck in terms of value. DiviBet is a gambling site. I'm not a big fan of gambling at all, so I'm never going to vote for that. I know it will be against some of you guys' religions. Totally understand that, so I'm not a fan of that. ExchangeArt for me doesn't really have any value for me. So DeBridge Finance is the one that I'm going to go for anyway. And of course, I will make a point of explaining what they all are in the video I'll make. So that's happening on the 22nd of May, which is 8 days from now. And the last one then, before we get on to the actual news about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I'm going to keep bringing these up for a while yet, and then I'm going to stop. The Bank of Montreal in Canada, the 4th largest bank, Canada's 4th largest bank, discloses spot Bitcoin ETF holdings every single day for the last week. we have seen different organizations, whether it be Rothschilds, whether it be banks, whether it be other types of financial institutions, they are all buying Bitcoin, and they're buying it through the ETFs. You do not have to be a rocket scientist to realize what is happening. Do not sell your Bitcoin to these people. Keep your Bitcoin safe, because they want to take it off you and they want to keep it. And as the days go by, we are going to see more and more of these, and they're going to be bigger and bigger names. And as I was saying yesterday, one of them is going to spark the pump. It might not be the Bank of Montreal. It might be Apple. It might be Microsoft. It might be Google. Somebody is going to buy Bitcoin that nobody's going to expect, and the market is going to rip. We have a forest, a very dry forest at the minute. And when a forest dries, it goes like Kindle. And Bitcoin is in a phase now where it's like Kindle. And it's going to need one spark, and it can be anything, that is going to cause the price to shoot up. All the shorts have been liquidated. All the longs have been liquidated over and over again. Yesterday, the shorts were wiped out. Are we going to rip up to 65? Are we going to rip up to 67? Wipe out the longs, come back down a little bit, and then go up. Something's going to happen soon. Now, Bitcoin has officially left the danger zone as Bitcoin starts the week in the green, according to Crypto Analyst. So many adverts these days. You can't even see the screen. A closely followed crypto analyst believes Bitcoin is entering into a bullish reversal phase after a post-halving correction. Capital again has said that Bitcoin dipped after the halving event during the so-called danger zone and then soared to a new all-time high. Good morning, Kishan. Welcome to the stream, sir. The post-halving Bitcoin danger zone purple is officially over, and Bitcoin is celebrating with a good bounce from the reaccumulation range low support. The analyst believes that Bitcoin has likely already reached its peak post-halving bottom when it touched 56. I would tend to agree, because that was where we wicked down to the bull market support band. Now, on the charts that I look at, we didn't touch the bull market support band, but on every other chart that I've seen, we have. And that was the key that we spoke about. At some point after the halving, we were going to touch the bull market support band, whether it's at 56, 60, $70,000, we were always going to touch it. Now we have done. We've reaffirmed that level of support. We can now move on up. If 56,000 was not the bottom, then this current pullback will have officially equaled the longest retrace in this cycle at 63 days. History, however, suggests that the current pullback ended at 56,047 days. Bitcoin is showing early stage signs of slowing down in its sell side momentum, slowly developing a curl against 60,000 support. That's what we've seen. Brogan talked about the rounded bottom. Did we get a rounded bottom over the weekend at $60,000? He seems to think so. And bearing in mind, we're now at what, 61.8, 61.9, you'd probably say that give it a few more days and maybe we will start to come out the other end, get towards 63. I think the price I wanted us to get to was 64,200. I'm not looking at the Bitcoin chart today. We've looked at it every day, 5 times a week we look at it, so I'm not looking at it today. But I tend to agree. I think there's a lot of people calling for a $50,000 Bitcoin. There's a lot of people calling for, $47,000 Bitcoin. Good morning, Tariq. I don't see us breaking the bull market support band in the bull run. I can see us wicking down, but we're not going to go from 57 to 47 or 45. It's too much of a correction. Look at how corrections are normally 20%. What is 20% from 74,000? It's about 15,000. Where does that take us to? 59,000. So there's your 20% correction and change. Now, look at where we are today. We're at 62,000. What is 20% from where we are now? 74,000, which is the all-time high. So Bitcoin moves in patterns and waves, and the prices we're at are not random choices. We are creatures of habit, and our habits reinforce the world around us, especially in finance. And whether it be the length of a correction, look at the cycles. We're in a 4-year cycle. We've programmed that 4-year cycle. We did that. We created Bitcoin. We created the cycles. We have created this supply and demand. So when you see these types of numbers that all kind of correlate, that confluence comes from the fact that we are creating that, we're manifesting those prices. So that's why I say, I mean, even in the darkest hours at 57,000, 56, 57, 58,000, we're still going to go to 74,000. It's not a matter of if, but when. So Bitcoin has left the danger zone. I think we need to give it a few more days to see what happens this week. I am not 100% convinced we're out of the woods. I do think we need to break up. We were in a downward channel for a long time. We've broken out of it. We've then used that downward channel for support, and now we have moved away from it. We need to break up, not greatly. As I said, 64. I can't remember if I think my line is 64.2. I think Brogan's line is 64.8. But those numbers, you know, what's $600 between friends? Now we're going to move on, because we did allude to this on Friday, but there's more of an article about it today. Good morning, Gianni, and good morning to you all. Thank you all for coming. It is Kabir's birthday today, so don't forget to wish Kabir a happy birthday in chat, and and make sure he celebrates it in style. So ARK and 21 shares remove staking provision from the spot Ethereum ETF application. As I said, we covered this, I think, on Friday, maybe Saturday, I'm not sure, but there's now an article about it. Now, I'm not a rocket scientist, and I'm not involved in these applications, but you would have to be a madman to have included Ethereum staking as your ETF application. It makes no sense whatsoever to have done this. It's such an own goal. I don't know why they put it in. However, both of them scrapped the ability to stake, and I think that was a wise choice at this moment in time. Remember, I imagine in the near future they will be able to reapply when we have a different Gary Gensler and a different Joe Biden in power. We'll have a different, we'll have a different environment. But for now, it shouldn't have been put in there. Staking allows cryptocurrency holders to earn rewards. We know about that. Whilst it may seem like this is getting them their documents in shape based on SEC comments, which would be good news, there hasn't been any comments. So it's probably either a Hail Mary or maybe trying to give the SEC one less thing. Now that was a comment, Eric Bilchan, that we covered this. This was the actual tweet that we covered, probably on Friday then. So he then went on to say, regarding the approval, we're holding the line at 25% odds, although to be honest, it's a very pessimistic 25%. The lack of engagement seems to be purposeful versus procrastination. No positive signs. Intel anywhere you look. Personally hope they do approve, but it ain't looking good, as the Yanks will say. Now, again, ETH worry. I am worried about ETH. And I did allude to, I've actually alluded to this for about 5 or 6 weeks. I said 5 or 6 weeks ago that I had a problem with Ethereum, and I couldn't put my finger on it, and that was a political problem with ETH. And now we have a price-related worry about ETH. Now, first of all, and I will stick by this, retail are going to go to Solana, and maybe Cardano, and maybe some of the layer 2s like Matic. That's where retail are going to end up. And financial institutions are going to go to Ethereum. So that's my standpoint on it, and I've said that many times. My issue is in the short-term price of Ethereum. And before Tariq asks me in chat, I am not suggesting for 1 minute that Tariq sells his Ethereum. But this is the issue. We talk about the bull market support band and we talk about you using this as a springboard. Now, the issue for Ethereum right now is it's broken below the bull market support band, and not only broken beneath it, but it hasn't managed to get back above it. And this is on the daily, this isn't on the hourly or the 4 hourly. So if you imagine that that's currently the bull market support band there, look where we are. We fell down, we've wicked down, we've tried to come back up, we've wicked but we didn't get above it, and now we are down here. Now, we haven't even had the Ethereum news of the ETF being rejected. Is it going to have a massive overall impact on the entire crypto market? Or is it just going to have short-term volatility in the market? Tariq said he took my question. I did, Tariq. I've disabled you. I've taken out your immobilizer, or I've put your immobilizer in. The reason is that if you're in Ethereum, over the long term, it is going to appreciate in value. It has a revenue model and it makes a lot of money. There are big people, including BlackRock, who are going to build on Ethereum. So long term, very bullish. Medium term, within the next year, very bullish, because the ETF is going to be approved. It's a when, not if. When is it going to be approved, not if it's going to be approved. Now, short term is where I am worried. And I think we could come crashing down and probably, and I'm going to sound like a very negative ninny on here, but you follow that line and that's pretty much where we are. Where do I think we could go? I think we could come all the way down to 2,400 minimum here. That's where we could come, around that level there. Why do I think we're going to come down here? This is where all this volume area is. I think 2,400 is what? That's a 20% correction. Again, we talked about 20% corrections on Bitcoin, 20% pumps from where we are to get us back to all-time high. Numbers, they mean things in charts. I think this is a good level of support. If you look over here, all this area, this was December the 3rd until February. This was 2 months at this price. And remember what we said about on the way up, you need to set prices for like steps. So when we go up, we want to do this. So when we come down, we can bounce off each step on the way down, and we don't just come crashing down. So for me, I think we're going to go to $2,400 on ETH. If we're rejected, and yesterday we covered the Bitcoin ETH chart, and we still have some ways to go. And remember what I said yesterday, we've got another 20% to go down on the Bitcoin Ethereum chart. We're at 0.047, and I think we're going to go to 0.04, 0.038, 0.037, something like that for the Bitcoin Ethereum pair. So I think we are going to retrace massively on this. Now, what can change my mind? People are talking about Gary Gensler being replaced by November or December. I can't see that happening. There is a vote of no confidence being tabled in the Senate in America to remove him. Can't see that happening because he's been appointed by Joe Biden. But Joe Biden isn't going to want rid of him. So I think for the next 9 months, we just need to put up with this, and then he'll be gone. I just think we are on a slide with Ethereum. All of this was news about an Ethereum ETF and Bitcoin appreciating, yes. But I just think we're going to come crashing down. And I think that if you're going to buy Ethereum, I think this area here is a great zone to buy Ethereum in. And that, I'm not saying we're going to come down to 1,800, but anywhere between, say, $2,200 and $2,400, I can see that playing out. The Bitcoin Ethereum chart stacks up. The price action, previous price action on Ethereum stacks up. We're not going to get the ETF. That is going to have a negative effect on Ethereum. I can't see how it won't. But I don't know whether it's going to affect Bitcoin. That's what I don't know. Now, if it does affect the entire market, we could see another minor correction on Bitcoin, yes. But remember, Ethereum is only 15% of crypto. Bitcoin is 54% of crypto. So if Bitcoin's ETF gets rejected, the market is wiped out. If Ethereum gets rejected, it might be a blip, and Ethereum might just lose its way. So be careful with Ethereum. If you're dollar cost averaging in, that's what you should still be doing. Dollar cost average in to Ethereum is probably the best course of action for the next 2 or 3 months. And that's what I would be doing. Now then, we're going to move on a little bit. Now, Notcoin. Now, just because I don't like Toncoin doesn't mean I'm not going to cover the coins. Toncoin for me is overvalued. Toncoin for me is hype and speculation. It's entered the top 10. It's got $29 billion market cap. I don't see the value. I don't see the value in the project at all. But it's there. I don't think it's there on merit, and I think it's going to retrace. And I'm going to keep saying that because I don't see how it can be at that price. Where is the money coming from to pump this coin up? It's just not, for me, it's not sustainable. The same with Dog with Hat. When Dog with Hat was at $5.4 billion, I was like, where's the money coming from? Why are people buying this? There's nothing there to warrant that price. And for me, it's the same with Toncoin. Now, Notcoin, I've made a video about it. It is a game on the Toncoin network. It is going to launch in 2 days' time. And I think it's got 32 million players or something like that? Now, it's suspended its deposits on crypto exchanges because the coin is launching on the 16th of May. So let's go through this very quickly. So starting the 14th of May, which is today, users will no longer be able to send their tokens to crypto exchanges. The deposits will be, we don't need to read that anymore. Notcoin is a web gaming project launched on January the 1st within the open network, which is Ton. It works as a mini application inside the Telegram Messenger and allows users to receive coins with a simple tap on the phone screen. Earnings can be increased through several additional activities. So we know a lot about the project. We've reviewed it. We've looked at it. What I would say is that I don't value this token. And I've said that in the video. If you don't want to watch the video, fine. I don't value this token. It is going to get a value, I think, of between 1 and 3 cents. That's it. I mean, there's a lot of them. It's big circulating supply, but I'm not going to hold them and I'm going to sell them. It's a game. Games tend to be a race to zero. What is going to hold the value of that token? I don't see it. I'm going to be completely wrong. I'm always completely wrong on a lot of these things, but I just don't like I'm not going to hold this token. Last week, the team announced the listings. We don't need to talk about that too much. But for me, I'm not a fan, if you pardon the pun. Not a fan of this token. I think at 1 cent, it gives it a market value of about... market value of about 1.5 billion. And what I was suggesting was, if I digress just a tad, we have time. We have time. So I'm going to show you what I think. If you'd say to me, how do you value a project? Well, I would value it like this. I would go... what would it come under? Is it not a gaming category? It would help if I could type. Hang on, give me 1 second. There's no game category. So Web3 games, maybe? I don't know what is going on with CoinMarketCap, but it is not giving me any listings. Right, okay. What I would say is you look at other comparisons to other games. Now, I do know that Axie Infinity has a value of about 1.3, 1.5 billion. So that's a good starting point for deciding how much this token could possibly be worth. There's another one there. So Gala is a gaming suite of games. That's 1.24. Notcoin has a circulating supply of about 1 billion, something like that. So if you, not 1 billion, sorry, 100 billion, 110 billion, something like that. So if you said the coin is worth 1 cent, that would give it a market value of about 1.1 billion. So it would come in. I mean, Athena, that recently launched, that's 1.1. It's a different category. But I mean, you'll Beam again, 1.1 billion. So if you're looking to give this token a value, you'd look at what other Web3 games are out there and what the value is. You do have other chains as well. You know, you've got, actually, if I click on Gala, this is going to make the stream hang, by the way. I think. Oh, let's click on Beam. Does Beam give you the categories that it comes under? Oh well, doesn't matter. Right, the point of the matter is, I think it's going to come out with a value of about 1 to 2 billion. That would give the token about a 1 to 2 cent value. If that token rips to 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 cents, personally, I would sell that token. I wouldn't be holding that token at that price. Again, Toncoin, totally overvalued for me. Will the game be overvalued? Probably more than likely, yes. So, again, just be careful. Don't FOMO in. If this token launches at 6 cents and it's absolutely ripping, just be careful. You're buying a brand new token that doesn't really generate a lot of money on a chain that's overhyped. Think of it that way. Now, meme coin traders turn bullish as Pepe breaks all-time high. Now, this one took me a little bit by surprise. I didn't realize that Pepe was so high. And I think we've got, you know what, when the screen is so white, I cannot actually see anything in front of me. It's so bright. Okay, so very quickly, let's bring up the Pepe chart. Pepe hits a new all-time high, reaching 4.5 billion market cap. The meme coin surpasses Uniswap and Render in market cap. Again, look at the absurdity of meme coins. Okay, I don't know if we're going to cover Render. I don't think we have. Okay, Render is mentioned by Apple in one of their products. They're going to be using Render. So Render has a partnership with Apple. Uniswap is the largest DEX on the Ethereum-ish chains. So it's a DEX. I'm trying to think of what the word is now. EVM, that's it. EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine. So you've got Uniswap, massive value. Render, massive value. A frog is now worth more than those two projects. That's the ludicrousy of meme coins. I get them, I understand them, but for the love of God, they're not projects that have got long-term viability to the extent of Uniswap and Render. The way that the ranking is at the minute, that there's some coins that are just totally overvalued. Now, we don't need to go into too much about this, but the bullish momentum surrounding Pepe has caught the attention of traders and now is fueling optimism for its future performance. Pepe's unprecedented rise in value has been a topic of intense discussion within the cryptocurrency market. Technical analysts such as Nebraskan Guna, what a name that is, and Karush AK attribute this surge to the coin's growing popularity and increased trading volume. Pepe Weekly looks crazy. I have seen this setup many times. Will likely consolidate here, break out next week, and pump to whatever that is. I'm not even going to bother mentioning the names or mention the price. It's just ludicrous. His analysis suggests that Pepe might experience a brief consolidation period before embarking on another upward trend. Now, I'm going to show you the chart. We've got 25 minutes. Actually, we've got plenty of time. Well, let's go through the chart because, again, it worries me when I see things like this. Okay. Pepe, on the 20th of February, 2 months ago, was here on its bull market support band. It had, let's just extend it a little bit. It had fallen below and then it broke through about the 20th of Feb. 26th of February, a week later, it ran, broke every single fib level, had a little bit of resistance here, shot up, got all the way up to here. Now, normally what happens, or normally what I would suggest would happen, is that because it's broken out so highly, it's going to come down very quickly. And I would have expected Pepe to have maybe done this, but it didn't. In its defense, it broke down to here and bounced. It couldn't hold this fib level. It bounced. Rejected. Came down and it's wicked down here. Now look at that wick there. What was that wick? That wick was to the bull market support band. This is what we talk about all the time. So it wicked to the bull market support band. Very bullish indeed. So it's wicked down and then it came back up. And remember what I was talking before about steps? I mean, look at that. What do I see happening next? That. Consolidation. Those steps are important on the way up. Look what happened when the price shot up in pretty much a vertical line. Look at that. What happens is it comes straight back down again. When you create these steps like this, it means that when the price comes down, you have the steps to bounce off to form support. So this is a very bullish and decent chart for Pepe. The question to ask yourself is, where is Pepe going to end up? And the reason I ask that question is, buying Pepe now is like turning up to a party at 2 a.m. when the party is going to finish at 2:30. You've missed the party. The party started all the way down there. Okay? That's where the party started. All the way down there. And you like meme coins, so you've got your meme coin bag. But if you wanted Pepe, that's where you buy Pepe. To buy Pepe at its all-time high, current all-time high, means that you might see this kind of action. Right? And you might make a 30% gain, let's call that a 30% gain, on a meme coin that has no inherent value. Now, if you're going to make gains out of meme coins, you shouldn't be chasing the ones that have ripped like this. Again, that was a buying opportunity. All of this area down here was the buying opportunity. Now, if you're interested in buying Pepe, and let's say, for example, it doesn't have the leg up, and let's say it does this and comes down here, then you can buy Pepe. But in my opinion, it's not good to chase tornadoes, especially when the tornado, let's see if it works for meme coins. It wasn't working for games. Right, okay. So these are the meme coins. This is what I'm trying to get to. Okay. Look at where Pepe is. It is ranked third behind Shiba Inu and Doge, and some considerable way behind Shiba Inu and Doge. Now, do you think Pepe is going to rip up another 3x to get to Shiba Inu? I think that is very unlikely. Or do you think it's going to do what Bonk, Dog with Hat and Floki have done over the last 12 months? which is rip up and then follow the same path down. So if we go and look at Bonk, I'm just giving you my theory on how these things work. So Bonk, very similar. So if we're going to just very quickly do that's what Pepe's done. So Pepe went that way and Bonk went that way. Then Bonk came back to what it's probably got its natural price, which is there. So I think Pepe is going to do the same thing and come back to its natural price. This is an unnatural market cap for me. An unnatural market cap. 1.5 to $3 billion for a meme coin, yes. 4.5 billion, 5 billion, no. Dog with Hat got to 5.4 billion. It's now 3 billion. That's retraced. What's that? Retrace 66%? No, 40%. It's come down 40%, 45%. Could Pepe come down 45%? That would give it a market value of about 2.8 billion. That would bring it back into the pack. I think that's fair. What's causing this price to pump is the question you should ask yourself. And if you know the answer and you think it's massively bullish, then you go ahead and buy Pepe. But for me, I would be shorting Pepe. And if not shorting, I would be leaving it alone. And I would be looking down here at other meme coins and saying to yourself, right, which one of these meme coins is now going to rip next? You know, Bonk's 5% down over the week. Dog with Hat, 5% down over the week. Floki is up a little bit. So which one's going to pump next? Which of these meme coins is going to rip next? Shiba had a bit of a rip a few weeks ago. Dog with Hat did. Bonk did. Book of Bohm certainly did. So you're not married to these coins. So think about, if you own Pepe, is now a good time to sell? For me, I'd be selling some Pepe now. Maybe not all of it, maybe a third. Take some profits, not financial advice. Be careful about these pumps. They normally don't have the steam to keep them going. Now, we're going to move on to Pixels, which is a it was a coin that I made a video about a couple of months ago. It's a game. Now, not going to be a meme in 2 days' time. Who knows? I mean, the tokenomics of games, and this is what I'm going to get onto now. The tokenomics of games are a race to zero. If you look at emissions in games, why do you play a game, a Web3 game, or a play-to-earn game? It's called play-to-earn, so you earn tokens. What do you then do with those tokens? You sell them. That's fine. What's at the other end buying those tokens? This is what I'm saying about a race to zero. And it's not just crypto games. You take any game. World of Warcraft is the perfect example I use all the time. When an expansion comes out, everything costs a lot of money. You have to buy gold to go and spend a fortune buying, I don't know, herbs or ores. 6 weeks later, those herbs and ore are 90% cheaper. Games are the same thing for me in crypto. There is no reason to hold these coins. We've looked at so many games. We've looked at WAGMI games. We've looked at Ryoshi, whatever it was called. The game, Nyoshi's Heroes, I think it was called. Nyan Heroes, that was it. We've looked at Gala. We've looked at, what other games? Star Atlas is the same, believe it or not. Games with emissions can't sustain the value of those tokens because people will keep selling those tokens. There's no incentive to hold them. And that's what we're going to talk about, hopefully, with this. Now, Pixels has hit 1 million daily active users and therefore claims to be the biggest Web3 game. The blockchain-based video game Pixels said it crossed 1 million daily active users, which would mean it's outpacing all of the Web3 games, according to the developer. Pixels is a free-to-play 2D farming game built on the Ronin blockchain. So, it is free-to-play, and you can earn Pixels. What are you going to do with those pixels? Because I'd be selling them. The developer behind the Web3 game said the title surpassed 1 million active users, a significant milestone considering currently most crypto-based video games are lucky if they have tens of thousands of players. While this is a major milestone, founder Luke Barwikowski, that was pretty good effort that, thinks the best metric for success in Web3 is the ratio between pixels spent to pixel distributed. In the last 30 days, 4.4 million pixels have been spent, the company said. That amount is worth about $1.6 million. Pixel was trading at 36 cents EST, according to CoinGecko. Now, I think we should bring up the Pixel chart. I think we need to put this into context. Now, I drew that line there, and I imagine that was me saying it was going to just keep going down. And funnily enough, we're at the price I said we'd be at in February. Wow, how about that? Now look at the issue that you have with these tokens. It was 96 cents on the 11th of March. And bearing in mind, I sold mine here. And this token has lost 2/3 of its value in 2 months. Let's get rid of these things here. Okay, so it's lost its value. So no matter what this article says, keep that chart in perspective. So the only crypto game to grab headlines has been Axie Infinity. We know about that. We also know what's happened to that coin. That got hacked. That got absolutely trashed on. Pixels runs on the Ronin chain. Both games also rely less on impressive graphics and gameplay, while focusing on providing players with the opportunity to earn crypto. The problem with giving people the opportunity to earn crypto is every single pump of this coin is sold into. You are never going to make money holding game tokens. And I don't mean IMX. I don't mean Gala per se. The tokens that are generated by you playing a game are never going to do anything but go down. In my opinion, it's all well and good having these pumps, but you will find that somebody will hold on to their pixel and sell there, and sell there, and sell there, and they will sell all of these little tops. That's what they'll do. And you're never going to have enough buying pressure to pump the price up. And even if the price pumps up, so even if it goes from 1 million to 2 million users, the token will do this. And guess what? The token will do that. Why? Because there's now an additional 1 million people selling these tokens. And the issue is, you know this is going to happen, so you have to sell as well. Because you know, if you were playing this game on March the 10th and you said, you know what, I'm going to hold my 100 pixels because they're worth $96. Your 100 pixels today would be worth $34.60. So you would feel cheated. You've lost 2/3 of that money. Now, irrespective of how many people they bring to this game, they could have 10 million people playing this game. The emissions are too high. People will only spend a fraction of the emissions in the game. Why would they? If you are living in a part of the world where you don't earn an awful lot and you can play a game that makes you $10 or $20 a month from playing it, that $10 or $20 a month could be a week's shopping. So why are you going to hold imaginary token? Why are you going to hold that when you can buy real food? You're not. You're going to sell it. And that's what happens with all gaming tokens. They go to zero. I'm sure WAGMI is going to be going through various different spikes. But look at WAGMI. We're on the daily chart. It had a run up. Hype. It came crashing down. More hype. Had a run up. Came crashing down. Brogan covered this game then and said it was trash. He told you it was trash at that price, and it has now dropped 66% again because there's no value in holding gaming tokens. And I don't care what anybody tells you, There's no value. Let's have a look. A spokesperson for Pixels pointed to a post on X from an analyst that said of the 18 million visitors to the game's website on April the 18th, 18% were from the Philippines, Brazil, Thailand, and Indonesia. Separately, each accounted for about 9% of the traffic. Pixels announced in February it raised $4.8 million, and its backers include Animoca Brands and Sky Mavis. All of that money is going to be lost. Why do they need to raise money? If they have 1 million players, why are they raising money? Does Fortnite need to raise money? No. Do the people behind Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto need to raise money? No. What makes Web3 so special that it needs $5 million to keep going when it's got 1 million users? Because they are emitting more than they are generating. It is a loss-making business. These games and these companies, you have to say to yourself when you look at anything, it doesn't have to be crypto, how do you make money? How does a sandwich shop make money? It sells sandwiches. It buys the bread and the meat and the salad cheaper than what it sells the sandwich for. That's how it makes money. And even sandwich shops go out of business. How does a game with 1 million players need $4.8 million in February? How does it need that money? Why? What's its roadmap? They're going to go to zero. And that's the issue. And Animoca and Sky Mavis are going to lose that money. They're behind they're the investors behind Axie Infinity. Great. But guess what? Axie Infinity has also lost God knows what percentage of its token value. So always be careful when you see gaming tokens. They look good. If you play a game where you can earn $10 an hour, every single hour that you earn that $10, you sell it to Solana or Ethereum or whatever USDC, you sell it because it's a race to zero. And the reason I say it's a race to zero is people will farm those games for as much as they can, as quickly as they can, to sell for the maximum gain. And that's where these games all fall down. There's so many emissions that you're never going to make any money out of them. So, as well as bashing crypto, as well as bashing meme coins today, I've also gone after the gaming sector. Now, don't get me wrong, Gala and IMX, they have a different revenue model because they make money from the games themselves, not the token necessarily. Then they are gaming suites. They're not games, if that makes any sense. So for me, what would I do? I would never in a million years recommend buying a token that's doing that, because there is no return to 96 cents for me. None at all. What you would need to do is introduce a staking system where people would need to hold 200, 300, 500 pixels to get additional rewards. What are those additional rewards? I don't know. Gaming items. That would cause a short-term spike in the price, and longer term, the price would still go down, because all the people that have staked will be watching the price of pixels go down because everybody else is selling them, and they'll unstake them and they'll sell them, and it will happen all the time. So don't. If you're going to take one thing away from this stream today, is don't buy gaming tokens. I've yet to see one that holds value. Now then, let's move on to the last article. We've got 5 minutes left. It's been an interesting stream today. Meme coins become top gainers again in the fiat crypto market. And there's a picture. That's going to be Pepe, I imagine. Tokens in the meme coin sector again showed rapid growth despite most cryptocurrency markets being flat. Pepe, Flocky, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu topped the growth chart over the last 24 hours. Coins rose in price from 6 to 10 cents, leading the top gainers. We've seen the top gainers anyway. In addition, Bonk and Dog with Hat coins showed significant growth rate, rising 4.5 and 3.7% over the past day. Overall capitalization of the meme coin sector is also showing growth. It's up to $54.4 billion. Incredible. That amount of money locked away in meme coins is incredible. I'd like to see a category in the future where you split meme coins up from community coins. Again, Shiba Inu, Flocky, Bonk, technically now are not meme coins. A meme coin is a token that has no utility and no inherent value. That's a lie if you talk about Flocky in those terms, or Bonk in those terms, or Shiba Inu in those terms. So again, we need a different category, a community coin category, because they simply are not meme coins anymore. If you look at, after the show, go and look at the Bonk website, go and look at the Dog with Hat website. You will see night and day difference between the two. Meme coins remain a popular topic of discussion in the second quarter of this year, following the staggering price increases of popular tokens such as WIF in the first quarter. The rise of the entire meme coin sector over the past 24 hours came amid news of a trader who made a substantial profit on the meme token Kitty after awakening the X account of financial analyst Keith Gill, which I haven't included in this stream because it's more to do with stocks and shares. So basically, Keith Gill, who is what's he called? Kitty, Summit Kitty. He's come back and started tweeting. GameStop went up 70% yesterday. Trading was halted on it. He's back. GME, the coin that's on the Solana blockchain, that's absolutely ripped. So all kinds of confusion, but it's not technically crypto. However, he is back. Look on Chain analyst noted that users spent $3,000 in Solana to purchase 17.4 million Kitty. Shortly before Gill tweeted about his return, soon after the price meme token increased by more than 8,000%. The trader then sold 12.8 million of Kitty for $41,000, leaving 4.6 million Kitty equaling $56,000 on the balance sheet. So he turned 3,000 into $97,000. That's not bad. That is a normal daily trade for someone like Tariq at the end of the day, isn't it? That's Tariq's daily trade. Litecoin to Bonk, Bonk to Litecoin. I know that's how he works. That's how he plays. So all in all then, we've managed to do the entire stream in 58 minutes, I believe. Now, very quickly then, since we've got a bit of time, I'm going to give you a little bit of Bitcoin chart action. Again, with Bitcoin 61.8 every day, I do the same thing. I keep forgetting to switch to cursor. Right, there we go. So we're now back in this range, which is here. This is the range that we're in. We could be in here until a spark happens, and that range is a fairly wide one. It's between 60,800 and the top here is 67,000. And along the way, I think the other line which we're going to include, let's move this line for now. I think this is the next target for Bitcoin. We've got previous price action at it. 64.2 is my next goal for Bitcoin, then 67, and if we break those two targets, we could be on our way back towards 70,000. And I know a lot of you have taken a bit of a hammering over the last couple of weeks, going back to maybe even as far as the middle of April. I understand, but Bitcoin is going to be flat till Pizza Day on May the 22nd. It could be. What's that? That's 8 days away. Could very well be. But there are some good possible indicators. I'll give you one here. So lower low, lower low. Spokes will start from there. Lower low, higher low. So we have broken that one. Again, on the other end, we've got potentially lower high, lower high. Didn't quite break it there. So to get back above 64,000 would mean we would put in a higher high. That's the way to look at it. So we've broken the lower low. We now need a higher high. That's what we need. We've got good RSI. I think holding 60,000 was a massive thing for us to do. And we're not out the woods yet. That's what I was saying before when the guy was saying we're out the danger zone. I don't think we are. We are 3% away from 60,000, and that's not enough for me. I think we could wick down there in an hour. We could break 60,000 in an hour. We could go to 57,000 today. Bear that in mind. I think that's the issue, and you need to be incredibly careful when we have one good day. It doesn't, one swallow doesn't make a summer, as an old expression. One good day doesn't mean that the money printer is coming back on and the price of Bitcoin is going to start ranking up. Just have to play it. We have to get back into different ranges. Ideally, we want to be back in this range up here, and that range is 67 to 71. That's where we want to be. We are in this area here, which is kind of 61 to 64. That's where we are. The next step for us is to get into this range here, which is 64 to 67. And then finally, we want to get back up there. Now, it would be great if we go back to the bubble analogy from the start. It'd be great to pop all of these different bubbles. That's what would be great. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time. And, if you'd offered me $62,000 in October last year, if you said to me we're going to be at $62,000 in May next year, would I have taken it? So October last year, we were at $28,000. Okay. If you offered it me in December, on Christmas Day, if you said to me, would we take a $62,000 Bitcoin? I would snap your hand off. Okay? Now, if you said to me, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, if you said to me when we were at 72,000, we're going to have a cool off and it's going to be a 15% retracement, I'd snap your hand off. I'd snap your hand off. Even a 20% retracement, I'd snap your hand off, which we had. So, we are in a very healthy position. 62,000 is very healthy. We've wicked down. We've touched the bull market support band. We held 60,000 over the weekend. We've potentially got a lot of selling going on, and we don't know why, but it could be any one of a number of reasons. So the final thought is we're in a good position. Go and enjoy Kabir's birthday today. Tariq, true, and you give me these advices. Well, hopefully that's what I'm here for, to try and give as much advice as possible. So with all that being said, I'm going to go make a video now about Jupiter and the next LFG airdrop. I'm going to go through the 3 different projects, review them so you can have a look at them. I'll try and make it 10 minutes or less, so you can see all the 3 projects that you get to vote for next week. So it's the 22nd is the vote, which is 8 days from today, which means next Wednesday, a week tomorrow, is the vote for Jupiter. So I'm going to go make the video on that, get that published today, and then hopefully we will start to see all of the tokens that we should have had come through, because June, I believe, is when we should start to see the Jupiter airdrop. We should be seeing the Sharkify airdrop. We should be seeing the When airdrop. Remember, by staking your Jupe tokens, you should be getting all of these things in June. So June should be a good month for us in terms of you guys getting different airdrops from things. $20 here, $50 here, $60 here. It all adds up, especially if you convert it all back into Solana. So anyway, until tomorrow, I will see you all at 11 o'clock in the same place. Kabir, go and enjoy your birthday. Have a great time. Tariq, Kishan, all of you guys, have a great day, and I will see you in the morning. Take care.